Your comments make the show better. Send us your thoughts live on our Facebook channel to be the star of today's show. Can't catch us live? Hit us up on our other social media channels to have your say. For now, welcome to the Rod Pedersen Show.
Hey, good morning, Canada and Canadian sports fans around the world. Welcome to the Rod Pedersen Show on this Monday, October the 7th, where the sun has come out here in Western Canada.
Yeah, it has.
Isn't it wonderful?
That's amazing.
Isn't it lovely?
Paul was giving me grief because I got the shorts on. I'm like, it's going to be 20 degrees this afternoon. Yeah.
I got shorts on, too. Just keep the feet off the desk, all right? I noticed that.
My bad.
Yeah. Show number 89 of the program today. As the man said, Rick Regan said, our big voice guy, I'm Rod Pedersen. He's Darren DuPont. If I'm Jay-Z, he's Beyonce.
Fabulous.
I heard a laugh coming from the other side of the building. That was Mike Abu-Meshrik, the 10-year CFLer, will be in here in the bunker coming up. The former Rider, Bomber, and Renegade and Grey Cup champion. Speaking of champions, I'm excited about today's program for a lot of reasons. Damon Allen.
Oh,
One of the greatest of all time will be joining us. For our American viewers, he is the brother of Pro Football Hall of Famer Marcus Allen. Damon's the Canadian Football Hall of Famer. And when he retired from the CFL, he was the all-time leading passer in pro football, period. Damon Allen will be with us from Toronto. The voice of the Vancouver Canucks, Brendan Batchelor, will be with us. I'm excited to have Brendan on. And a very special guest today in the bunker, which my phone's been blowing up for the last couple of days since we announced it. Sarah Kalana, who really needs no introduction. In this town known as Mrs. John Ryan. In America known as a two-time New York Times best-selling author, Netflix star, Hollywood comedian. She'll be right here in the bunker.
That's exciting.
And she tweeted to her 250,000 Twitter followers yesterday that she's looking forward to coming on. So I had to tell the Expendables, our crew, be on your best behavior, guys. Put the toilet seat down. Tuck your shirt in.
it's a big deal.
Because, we don't get lovelies come through here very often.
Going to be a lady on the set.
There's going to be a lady in the house, you guys. Number 89s. People are already rolling with that. Nelson from Phoenix writing in the 89 Grey Cup for show 89. It's show 89. So legendary 89. Well, talk about the Calgary Flames Stanley Cup win, if you will. Hello to our Calgary viewers, of course. We got our Dinos bucket here on the table. Chris Getzlaff, obviously, my favorite all-time 89. Followed closely by Duron Carter.
I was wondering how close Duron would be.
Followed very closely by Duron Carter. Curtis Mayfield, Clarence Denmark, and there have been several people chiming in already with their favorite number 89s. Do you have one?
I don't have a favorite 89. I don't. Alex McGillney comes to mind. It came up on the Facebook feed, too. That's a good one.
Buffalo Sabres, great.
Yeah. Well, he had a stop with the Leafs. Mm-hmm. And he was good. But, there's lots of good 89s. Football will be full of them. Steve Smith, I think, was 89.
Yeah.
There's a few.
We opened the Prairie Mobile text line, 840-8777. It's open for business. 306-840-8777 for any thoughts you may have coming out of a very busy sports weekend, but also your favorite 89s, if you will. And our poll question, which we'll get to shortly, you can chime in on that. But just reading the morning sports break, Russell Martin homered and drove in 4 runs in his first appearance of this year's postseason, leading the Dodgers to a 10-4 win over the Washington Nationals in Game 3 of the NLDS Sunday. That gives the Dodgers a 2-1 lead in the best-of-5 series over the Montreal Expos. They can close it out tonight.
Yeah.
The Braves have the upper hand in their NLDS against St. Louis. They scored 3 runs in the top of the 9th for a 3-1 comeback win and a 2-1 series lead. Calgary's Mike Soroka started the game for the Braves, but didn't factor into the decision. He allowed 1 run and 2 hits through 7 innings. But a lot of Calgary shutouts early on today. And you're surprised I started with baseball.
That's okay. It's playoffs.
Yeah, exactly. Aaron Jones scored a career-high 4 touchdowns, and the Packers hung on for a 34-24 victory over America's team in America's Stadium. Did you? No, you were doing the Thunder game, so you didn't see that. I was flipping back and forth between the Cowboys, the Thunder. You were calling that, flirted with the idea of going to Moose Jaw, decided better of it. I just want to say Cowboys coach Jason Garrett flagged for objectionable conduct, abuse of an official. Did you see that or hear about?
No, that I missed.
15 yards.
I missed that.
And everybody in Dallas is complaining about officiating with the Cowboys. Just 10-point loss to the Packers. The officials didn't make you miss the field goals that Brett Maher missed. The officials didn't throw 3 picks like Dak did. Oh, they were awful.
I feel like we're in the same place this morning.
Was it bad? The Titans were. Well, is it the refs' fault the Titans lost?
No.
To the Bills?
No. One, I mean, they threw a touch. Mariota threw a touchdown, and I was watching, like, I think he's over the line of scrimmage. And I found out to be over the line of scrimmage, which I didn't know this, your entire body has to be past the line of scrimmage.
Not just a foot?
Not just the ball, not just the foot. So his back heel right close to the line of scrimmage. And they ruled that he was over, so the touchdown was incomplete. And it was avoided, and you lost the down. But when they looked at it, even the rules of expert on this staff's like, I think he's on the broadcast. I think he's onside. But it was so close that it wasn't conclusive enough to overturn it. So there's a touchdown off the board. And the kicker missed 4 field goals.
Right.
4 of them, and you lost by 7.
Well, at least you're not blaming the refs.
No.
Like the Cowboys. And just
they played well against one of the best defenses
not
in the NFL.
letting them off the hook. The Cowboys nor the Titans. By the way, people are writing in about our poll question here. Hang on, I got to call up my Twitter account. It's a good one. To the CFL, because everybody's just chomping at the bit, if you will, to get to the CFL. So week 17, here's what went down. Riders, of course, beating Winnipeg 21-6 at Mosaic Stadium. Friday Night Football, Hamilton destroyed Edmonton 42-12. Montreal upset Calgary 21-17. Viva La Montreal!
Yeah.
They're alive in Montreal, Alouettes fans. Rumors of their death, premature.
Yes.
And how about those Stampeders, which we'll get into all that. Mike Abumeshwer coming into the bunker to join us to talk about that. BC Lions walloping the Toronto Argonauts 55-8. And after the Rider game, we went to a local establishment. I watched, a friend of mine with the Argos said, did you watch the game? I said, I watched the first half until it was very evident that it was over.
Yes.
So I turned my attention to the company at the table, and he said you didn't miss anything other than a late touchdown by the Argos. So some of the points coming out of Week 17 for me that we'll talk about today. Can the Riders hold on to first place? You know, a bit of a problem there for me is how much everybody's celebrating around here. I had a text from a guy, West Division champs. No, they're not. You know, and people are going crazy far too soon about it. I understand it's rare around here to be in first place this late, but hold on to your bingo cards. Is Corey Chamberlain that bad of a head coach?
Yeah, that's tough.
It pains me to say that. I did some digging yesterday, poked around with some friends with the Argos, and they said, no, the players love Chamberlain. The thought here is that they just don't have the horses. And a complete top-to-bottom house cleaning sounds like it's coming.
Wow.
And that would be unfortunate for Corey Chamberlain, I think, who's probably wondering, why did I come back to the CFL? Why did I do this?
Yeah.
The Montreal Alouettes swept the Calgary Stampeders. They swept them in their 2-game season series. Now, the head-scratcher to me was that the Stampeders had 547 yards offense in the game on Saturday.
Yeah.
That's one of those games where you get on the plane and fly home and go, how the hell did we lose that?
Yeah.
But yeah, they did.
Yeah.
What are you looking at?
Nelson's comment, and it's funny. He's talking about the Argos social media team.
Pretty funny,
and
yeah.
Despite the struggles, they are pretty great. And he points out the one where they just scratched out the scores on the Twitter feed and put a picture of a dog. They're great. And the other one they put out was, we don't know what to say, TBH, to be honest. And the comments, everybody's just supporting these guys. And they're like, maybe you guys can play, like the guys running the social media account.
That was the Argos
in my mind,
Twitter guy.
They are by far the best social media team in the CFL. Through this tough times and to keep the Argos somewhat relevant, they're doing a great job. So hats off to the social media team.
Star of the weekend, maybe we should do that.
Yeah.
The MVP of the weekend, the Argos Twitter guy.
That's funny. Great idea.
And of course, the Ticats have achieved 12 wins. That's equaling a franchise high. They've never won more than 12. So this talk about, is this the best Ticats team ever, actually does hold water.
It does.
If you will. But if they don't win a Grey Cup, you will not be in that discussion. So I still don't like the talk right now, but you guys talk about whatever you want. And the BC Lions have won 4 in a row. And look, maybe it's a coincidence, maybe it's not, but Kelly Bates rolls into town. In his first game, they put up 16 in Montreal 5 weeks ago. They were decent, and then they haven't lost since.
Yeah.
And it's really looking like they could catch the Edmonton Eskimos.
It does. It looks like they can catch the Eskimos. Hold out hope. It is exciting times in BC. And for me, they're almost must-see TV every week because now I want to see if they can catch them. We love pulling for the underdog, and there's a shot.
Wayne in Victoria, BC, watching today says Calgary had, I believe, 4 turnovers. That's how they lost. Actually, I believe it was 5. I did read the stat sheet after the game. But coming out of all of this, and in the next segment, did I see Lumpy in the house? Right there. Brett McNeil is here. Bomber great. Mike Abomeshrik is here. Bomber great.
Bomber Mondays.
Bomber Mondays a boost. Oh, I can hear it.
Yeah.
I can hear it echoing. You'll adjourn and those guys will come in and we'll talk about this poll question and where the Bombers stand. Today's Capital Auto Mall Universal Collision Center poll question is this. Which top 4 team will be the most active at Wednesday's CFL trade deadline? The Calgary Stampeders, Hamilton Tiger Cats, Saskatchewan Roughriders, Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Those are the teams with the top 4 records in the CFL. And based on our Facebook poll, 87.3% say the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. On Twitter, 82% say it's Winnipeg, and they're the runaway winners. All the others are single-digit vote getters. The Bombers have to do something if they're going to save their season.
Yes, I agree.
Everybody agrees it. So the question is now, what?
Yeah, because if you're talking about saving their season, it's not getting a quarterback.
No?
Because you're riding with Chris Streveler.
Are you?
Getting a quarterback protects their season, doesn't save it. It protects you if Streveler goes down. I still think they're all in on Streveler.
Well, you also think people should sign Zach Caleros, and I think for that you should have your head examined.
No, I think that wouldn't be a bad idea as a backup, but not to play and not to win you a championship as an insurance.
If you're
policy.
signing him as a backup, you're expecting him to play at some point. That's what I think.
Well, you're just taking that opportunity. Why do you get house insurance? Not because you expect your house to light on fire, right? Just in case it happens.
Fair enough.
So then at least you're not completely in a bad spot. I know he's not. I know you always need an insurance policy for your insurance policy with Zach Caleros, but yeah, I think they need to do something. Maybe it's something in the, we've talked to some guys who are out there. Maybe it's a free agent, a veteran to help shore up that secondary a little bit in Winnipeg, but they've got something that they need to do to make sure that they can save their season because it's going the wrong way.
We'll get into this with Abu and Lumpy next segment. A couple last things. Kenton Keith has gone public with his campaign to have his number retired by the not his number, for him to retire as a Rough Rider, and he has tweeted that the team will not allow it to happen. Kenton has gone public with that. So we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, and the other one I wanted to get in actually in the warm-up was Duke Williams.
Had a touchdown.
Scored a touchdown,
yeah.
And they loved him on the broadcast. He looked really good, caught some big passes over the middle, still a big target, and I think he's going to have some success. He had not a lot of time. He had a short week to get ready. Kind of came onto the lineup at the last minute and looked really, really good.
All right, so those are our topics. So we'll see you back here for overtime.
All right.
And don't forget, everybody, Sarah Kalana, Mrs. John Ryan, here in the bunker in hour 2, the star of the Netflix special, Insatiable. It's not a special, it's fantastic. We binge watched it last night. Hollywood comedian, New York Times bestseller, Sarah Kalana in the bunker in hour 2. But this has been the warm-up. We got a couple of ballers in here. Next segment. Damon Allen coming up in hour 1, too. This is the Rod Pedersen Show on Facebook Live and listen live at rodpedersen.com.
You're watching Rod Pedersen on demand. For more of The Rod Pedersen Show, visit rodpedersen.com or follow Rod Pedersen on social media.